show after the show with the Fantasy Footballers.
Wow. He jacks me up, man. I was challenged on the mailbag and then thrown. I was thrown into the dungeons of despair and sadness.
That's because you sucked it up big time on the mailbag drop. If you haven't watched our last episode that we just finished, go check out Mike's terrible mailbag drop.
I gave it at least 20%.
I was going to say your energy was down, my friend.
Exactly right.
I think I was lost in thought of something.
Both times?
I make you know what? I take it back. I make no excuses. It was terrible.
Oh,
it was terrible.
All right. Well, welcome to the show after the show. Andy, Mike, and Jason back, the Fantasy Footballers. We just got done with a fun show where we made a lot of tough decisions, fantasy football decisions. A keep, trade, or cut game that we played along with you, the listener. And so go check that out. Fantasy football, it's pretty fun. We're getting to the point where we're going to be drafting. We're going to be watching preseason games. The Hall of Fame game that we'll be really excited for, and the starters will play like 3 minutes. That's going to be coming up soon. But today is the show after the show, and we're not talking Game of Thrones. We're going to tell some tales from the airplane. Everybody has a travel story, I think, because when you get on an airplane, you're in it for the long haul. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah, and we are. I'd say we are above, average height gentlemen. We're a little larger, so I mean,
look, you're playing roulette.
They try and squish you in. So I just wanted to tell the tale. We had
we just got back from New York.
Yes, so we took a trip to New York, and I thought we had some funny stories, Jason and I, because we came back ery. Jason and Andy
I hung out a little longer. Took care of the DFS.
And so we're talking. We're on Southwest. It's a 3x3. And where there's two of us, we're like, well, what do we do? Do we sit window and aisle? Do we sit one of us in the middle? And you're like, just what is this seating situation? Because you want to sit by your chum, but you also want to be comfortable. And Jason comes up with a brilliant idea.
So smart.
Why don't we take two aisles next to each other? And
sit right next to each other. Both have the leg room. That's great. But now there's a new problem. It's who's going to sit next to us.
And this can cause some predicaments.
Can I just jump in I'll give you the floor is yours for the remainder of the time.
Okay.
I still don't. You guys are acting like this is a genius idea. Why is it a genius idea to have a giant gap between you? Can you talk to each other?
Oh yeah,
easily.
You can talk to each other super easy.
It's not a giant gap, my friend. This is like a 3-foot gap.
All right.
Well, the conversation is flowing free and easy and fun and breezy. It's easy to do across the aisle.
I'm moving on.
But so I happened to be in front. I had the higher boarding number, so I gladly took my position at the top of the throne. And as we're walking towards the back of the plane, looking for a situation that meets our criteria, we need two aisles next to each other. Well, I spot two aisle seats. One of them, the row has simply a passenger in the window. The middle is open and the aisle is open. On the other row is only the aisle is open, and there is a larger gentleman by the window, and I assume his girlfriend is in the middle. And I would say she's like a medium build.
Yeah, but
she was. I mean, right?
Yeah, medium,
average
girl.
size, just average sized lady. And so I'm like, I'm going to take the sure thing here. I'm going to take the sure thing. So I sit down. And I say to Jason, I gave you the lotto ticket. We have no idea who's going to sit next to Jason.
I'm sitting in the aisle right next to him, and one open seat and then the window. And we're watching, and the plane's starting to fill up. And so, who's going to sit next to me? Big guy, little guy, whatever. And then there comes this string of glory that was – basically the school bus got let out, and there was just like what I'm guessing is about 10 or 12-year-olds
they
around
were tweens,
that range
for sure.
And they were so short and tiny, and there's like 15 of them in a row, and I'm sitting there looking at Mike thinking, ha, I won the lottery. And
like the chances of just maybe two children is nil. But the fact that there is a whole busload of school children
all
now
in a row,
filtering in, and one of them is sure to take Jason's seat,
which apparently you want.
Well, because you want the smaller person.
You would rather have small size, even if this is like a loud kid.
They seemed
They're
well
gonna
behaved.
they're gonna put their
Okay,
headphones
okay.
on and be quiet.
All right.
Yeah, I'm really just concerned with space here. And so, but the problem was they kept going further
kept
and
passing.
further, and it was like, oh no, they're all going to be gone soon. And then at the end was the largest man you've ever seen.
It was
on this
Hercules.
plane.
Hercules was on the plane.
His head was near the top of the ceiling.
This is, and he's not exaggerating. This man's head was almost hitting the ceiling.
I don't know how he walked through the aisles.
He had to shuffle sideways down the aisle. He was a humongous man, and like could easily destroy Jason and I
Oh,
if it
yeah.
came to that. Like this guy was
The
buff.
mountain.
Yeah,
Yes.
basically the mountain showed up on the airplane, and I just start cackling like a madman because the children are all bypassing, and here comes the mountain who's eyeing Jason's seat because he has no
there's
choice.
almost none left. And thankfully, they ran out of seats behind me, and the kids had to come back.
Ooh.
So Jason
And I
won.
got like a 10-year-old.
What?
It was great.
What is the worst part of flying?
People that fart on the plane.
Wait, those
Dude.
people? Did that happen to you?
Oh yes, that happened in your flight too. There was when we were heading out to New York. That's the worst place. Like people say, "Oh, an elevator." Look, I'm getting off the elevator in a couple minutes, right? Like at the longest, a couple minutes. When I'm on a 2-hour plane flight and I got farties somewhere near me, it's so disgusting.
We had way too many like real small children on our flight back when I came back with my sister. There was the poopy baby 2 over. And that was rough. That was really rough.
Poopy baby, like smell poopy baby.
Oh yeah.
Blech.
Yeah.
Not on a plane.
Now
man.
see, I will say this, on my plane flight back, somehow, some way, there's the one.
Yeah, speaking of lotto tickets,
There is one seat on a Southwest plane that is the bulkhead where there is no seat in front of it. The exit row, really, where there is no seat in front of it. It's the dream seat. I'm 6 foot, almost 6'3". That seat is like mythological, right? That's the seat where when you see it, everything else disappears like Happy Gilmore, and you hear the music, and you just see the seat there laying on the bed. I'm walking in the plane. I'm like boarding A60. There's 59 other people on this plane before me. And this seat it's not that far from the front of the plane. And I walk in and I see it. And no one's in it. And it's like a mirage. I asked the flight attendant, I say, and I with this look on my face like it's impossible, I say, is that seat open? Is that available?
Wait a minute. Didn't you fly back with your sister?
Yeah. I
yeah,
was in front.
to the wolves.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh
just
yeah.
said- what?
Oh, I'm with.
just
I'm with
said-
Andy.
Oh,
My
no
sister-
way.
Yeah.
Look, I had already laid claim to the fact I like the window seat. I prefer the window seat. I have some motion sickness, and I like the window because I can see where I'm at in the sky. But I took this seat. It took her like 2 minutes to realize I had no one in front of me, even when we were sitting down. And she cursed my name for hours, but it was fine because it was a dream. Anyways, it was amazing that no one took that seat. And so all of you should be ashamed of yourself. All 59 people in front of me, you should have stolen that from me.
Yeah, you didn't mention you had 59 idiots in front of you.
59 idiots on a plane.
I mean, that is unbelievable.
No snakes.
Unbelievable.
All right, so are we done?
Yeah. Tell us your best and worst
Traveling is just
flight stories.
it's just something you got to do.
It's the
And
worst.
And don't fart on a plane. Okay? If I got gas, I won't even fall asleep. Out of respect.
Goodbye.